All right, changing pace, and the executions of Andrew Chan and Myron Sukumaran are distressing for many of us as adults, but how do we talk to our kids when terrible stories make front page news? Let's get some much needed advice from parenting researcher and author of Kidspot.com.au, Dr Justin Coulson. G'day, Justin.
Good morning.
What's a good way of bringing it up with kids? Because obviously it's everywhere at the moment. Everyone's talking about it on television, on radio, it's on the front pages of newspapers.
I don't think that we should be bringing it up. I think that we should be guided by our children's curiosity. Look, there's this... it's getting blanket coverage. So if you've got young children, I know that it kind of goes against the grain and we all want to know what's going on, but I think we need to turn the TV off, turn the radio off. Young children, research shows really clearly, need to be cocooned. They need to believe that the world is a safe place, a secure place, a place where they're free to explore and just, you know, life is roses and blue skies and sunshine. And when they are frightened that bad things will happen to them, they become less curious, they become less likely to explore, they become insecure, they become anxious and stressed. So our young children, and I'm talking kids under 5 to 8, depending on the developmental capacity of your child, they don't need to know. So don't tell them.
What though, if they do know? So I'm, you know, with my eldest daughter Allegra, she's 8, and she said to me, "Oh, Mummy, I'm worried about the Barley Night."
Yeah.
And what do I say to her? And, you know, yesterday she was saying to me, "Mummy, are they going to die?" And so I said to her, I think they are. And then she says, "But why?" So what do we say? What do we say to our kids if they do question us?
I think we've got to be honest. Yeah, that's what it really comes down to. My 7-year-old said the same thing to me this morning. "Dad, you're going to talk on the TV about those 2 men in Indonesia." And at that point, we just tell them the truth, but we do it in an age-appropriate way as well.
So what is that?
Well, we might say something like, the government over there caught them doing something that was wrong, and in that country, their law is that if you do that wrong thing, that they will kill you. And it's really, really sad. And you watch, your children will just be going, whoa. And at that point, you just let them know, do you have any questions? If you do, I'll answer them. And you leave it at that. Brief responses, to the point, factual, honest, done.
It's hard though to be short and sweet. I find I go on and on.
Isn't there a positive narrative in this, in terms of 2 young men who made a mistake and turned their lives around quite remarkably? Can we not focus on that with our children?
I think if they're curious about it, I mean, younger kids, again, are not going to be looking for that kind of information, but certainly my older kids, and probably your kids as well, they're going to be old enough to start to think about tales of redemption. And they're going to be interested in, well, does capital punishment work? And what are the broader implications? And I know, you know, once kids get into about grade 5, grade 6 and into high school, these discussions come up a lot. So this is a great conversation to have.
And parents have to remember, kids don't process information the way that you do. Like, kids interpret everything as kids. They interpret it as a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old. So I don't think you do need to explain to them all the peculiarities of the Indonesian justice system.
Which I do.
You know,
But they do ask questions. I remember when I used to drive my kids to school, and I'd have probably ABC on, and I'm listening to something, and I forget what it was, but there was some atrocity that was happening, and one of the kids said to me, "Mummy, are we going to die?" You know, because it was something about bombs and stuff. And so you sort of said, "No, I don't think so, because we live in Australia." But you forget how they do listen, actually. They may not absorb it in the same way we do, but they do listen.
Yeah, they do.
How do you lessen the impact?
Well, you turn it off.
Yeah,
that's the best way.
I do.
But secondarily, once they ask questions like, "Are we going to die?" they're not looking for an intellectual response. They're not looking for us to explain everything to them.
No,
They're looking for
debate.
Yeah, they're looking for comfort. They're looking for reassurance.
I'll give you the answer right now. If a kid says, "Are we going to die?" you say, "No, we're never going to die, and even if we do, we're all going to heaven."
Yay! That's the way to do it.
Just be quiet and put your Spot DVD on.
That's right, yeah, let's watch something. Look, I don't think that distraction is the right thing. We need to be honest with them. We need to be involved and engaged. But usually these kinds of questions come out of either curiosity or concern. If it's curiosity, answer briefly and then say, "Do you have any other questions?" If it's concern, they're worried about dying, then you say, "It's so scary." Actually tap into the emotion they're feeling, because they want to be understood, not intellectually, but emotionally.
Yeah.
So you might say, "Hearing these stories makes us so scared and so sad, doesn't it?" And then be quiet and let them talk to you.
Tread lightly and with love.
With me.
Dr Justin Coulson, thank you very much for joining us. We do
Thank you.
appreciate it.